Hey, ChatGPT. I recently learned about the True Furqan, a controversial religious text. This book claims to imitate the Quran while integrating Christian theology. It was written under pseudonyms and translated by Anis Shorrosh. In my opinion, it seems like a counterfeit Quran, an attempt to meet the challenge that the Quran has posed since 7th century Arabia.
And if you are in doubt about what we have revealed to our servant, then produce a surah like it and call your helpers other than Allah, if what you say is true. Quran chapter 2 verse 23. Cleophy, the True Furqan is designed to mimic the style and structure of the Quran, but many scholars and believers view it as fundamentally different in content and purpose. The Quran presents itself as a divine revelation, while the True Furqan incorporates Christian theology and is often seen as a response to the Quran's challenges. In terms of fulfilling the challenge posed by the Quran, which invites others to produce a text like it, Quran 2:23, most Muslims would argue that the True Furqan does not meet this challenge because it lacks the same spiritual depth, linguistic quality, and divine claim that the Quran asserts. Instead, it is often considered a controversial interpretation rather than a genuine counterpart.
Thank you so much, ChatGPT. Let's dive deeper into this chapter together with Jack and Wilson. Hey everyone, before we dive into that, I was delving into my YouTube channel analytics and noticed most of you who watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. Would you do me a huge favor, please, and hit the subscribe button? It really motivates me and helps the channel to grow so I can do more videos just like the one you're about to watch. So without further ado, let's dive in.
All right, so today we're diving into something pretty unique.
Yeah, it's
a book called The True Furqan.
okay.
And have you ever thought about what it would take to bridge the gap between the world's two largest religions? But instead of finding common ground, what if someone tried to use the style of one faith to kind of challenge the other?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's what this book tries to do.
Wow.
And we'll be using the Wikipedia article on the True Furqan to guide us.
Okay, cool.
It's a fascinating read.
Sounds like it.
By the end, you'll understand what this book is all about, where it came from, and all the different reactions it's caused.
Yeah, that's a bold concept, you know?
Definitely.
It's like trying to speak a language perfectly,
Right.
but using totally different words with different meanings
Yeah.
raises a big question.
Yeah.
Can you really engage with someone else's faith by mimicking how it looks,
Yeah.
but promoting a different message?
That's the question.
Hmm.
So let's unpack what the True Furqan is. It was published in 1999
Okay.
and written in Arabic
Okay.
to kind of mirror the style of the Quran,
Oh, wow.
but it's woven through with Christian teachings.
So like a reverse gospel of Barnabas, almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Which uses Islamic-style language for Christian doctrine.
Right.
It's interesting how religious texts are used this way
Yeah.
to engage and challenge other faiths.
Yeah, throughout history, it's fascinating.
It is.
The authors of this book go by pseudonyms,
Okay.
Al-Safi and Al-Mahdi,
Interesting.
and it was translated by Anis Shorrosh.
Okay.
He's pretty upfront about his goals with the book.
Oh.
He sees it as a tool to liberate Muslims from Islam. He believes Muhammad is the Antichrist.
Oh, wow. So this is where it gets controversial.
It really does.
Shorrosh is responding directly to the Quran.
Yeah.
It's claimed that no one can create a work like it.
Yeah, the Quran's claim of inimitability, that's a fundamental Islamic belief.
Right.
That the style and content are uniquely divine and can't be replicated by humans.
So the True Furqan is trying to disrupt that.
Yes.
Can you imagine how that went over?
Yeah, not well with a lot of Muslims.
Not well.
The reception has been mixed.
Yeah.
Some Christians see it as a tool for starting conversations about Christianity.
Okay, like a pre-evangelism thing?
Yeah, kind of.
Interesting.
But there's been a lot of criticism, too.
Yeah.
Many see it as Christian propaganda,
Right.
a hoax,
Uh-huh.
or just poorly written.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then there's the conspiracy theories.
Oh, boy.
Some Muslims believe this book
Yeah.
is part of a U.S. or Israeli plan to undermine Islam.
Oh, wow.
There was even an Egyptian newspaper that claimed President George W. Bush was directly involved.
Really?
The U.S. State Department denies involvement,
Okay.
and Shorrosh himself denies Israeli involvement.
But these narratives are powerful.
Yeah.
Especially when they tap into existing anxieties.
Yeah.
It can be hard to stop them.
And the book is actually banned in India. So that adds another layer.
Yeah, definitely.
This book is creating waves.
It really is.
Across religious and geopolitical boundaries.
Like a pebble in a pond.
Exactly.
Rippling outwards.
Yeah. But I'm curious about the content. Like, what's actually in the True Furqan?
Well, one of the most notable things is how it tries to mimic the Quran style.
Okay.
It uses a similar structure, even borrows phrases and themes.
Okay.
But instead of reinforcing Islamic teachings, it weaves in Christian concepts.
Yeah.
Like the Trinity
Okay.
and the divinity of Jesus.
So it's trying to reframe these Christian ideas
Yeah.
in a style familiar to Muslim readers.
Exactly.
Do you think that approach could ever work?
To foster understanding?
Yeah.
Or will it just lead to conflict?
Right.
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
To really understand that,
Yeah.
we need to look deeper into the text itself.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's see how it tries to fuse style and message.
I'm fascinated to see how they pull this off.
Me too. One example that jumps out is how the True Furqan handles the concept of God.
Okay.
It keeps that Islamic emphasis on God's oneness.
Right. A key part of Islam.
Yeah, but then it brings in this idea of a triune God.
Like the Christian Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Exactly, and it does this by using certain verses from the Quran
Okay.
that some people interpret as hinting at a plurality within God.
I see.
Of course, its interpretation is debated.
Within Islamic scholarship. Right?
Yeah, but the True Furqan uses it to suggest that.
Yeah.
That the Trinity isn't so foreign to Islam.
It's a subtle approach.
It's trying to find that overlap.
Yeah, and build from there.
Right.
Do you think that could work?
To engage a Muslim audience.
Yeah, as opposed to something more overtly Christian.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
For some readers, using the Quranic language might make it more approachable,
Okay.
less jarring.
Right.
But for others, it might feel even more sneaky.
Like it's trying to trick them.
Exactly like a violation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It could backfire.
Definitely. But let's talk about reactions.
Okay.
You mentioned Islamic scholars at the University of Tehran.
Yeah.
They criticized the book's methodology.
They did one main criticism.
Yeah.
Is that the True Furqan oversimplifies the Quran.
Okay.
Islamic scholars have spent centuries studying it.
Right.
The layers of meaning the wordplay.
Yeah, all the intricacy.
Exactly. It's part of what makes the Quran powerful.
And in their view, inimitable.
Exactly.
So they're saying the True Furqan might copy the style,
yeah.
but it misses the depth.
Right. It doesn't have that same artistry.
That's interesting because even the criticisms, they kind of reinforce Islamic beliefs.
And they could see it the other way.
It shows how fluid interpretations can be.
Absolutely.
What might seem like a contradiction to one person
Yeah.
is a validation to another.
It all depends on perspective.
Okay, so we've talked about the immediate reactions.
Yeah.
But what about the broader impact of this book?
On interfaith relations.
Yeah, what kind of lasting effect has it had?
I think it's still too early to tell for sure,
Okay.
but it's a cautionary tale.
About?
Approaching interfaith dialogue the wrong way.
In a disrespectful way.
Yeah. Or manipulative.
Trying to convert people by messing with their sacred texts.
Right. That will probably backfire.
Create more division, not less.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It highlights the need for genuine empathy
Understand.
when talking to people of different faiths.
It's not about winning an argument.
Right.
It's about listening and learning.
Finding that human connection.
Even when you disagree.
I agree.
Authentic dialogue is about being open.
Recognizing other perspectives.
Even if you don't agree.
Absolutely. It's about building bridges.
Not walls.
Well said.
Before we wrap up, though, one last thought.
Okay.
We've focused on the negative reactions.
Yeah.
But could this book spark any productive conversations?
That's an interesting thought.
Despite the controversy, I mean...
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Anything that gets people talking about faith
even if it starts with disagreement.
could open new avenues.
For understanding.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a catalyst.
Forcing people to confront their own biases.
And think about faith in a world that's increasingly diverse.
Absolutely. You never know.
What could happen?
Someone might read this book and have their own awakening.
Whether it leads them towards
Christianity or
right?
something else entirely.
It reminds us that faith is personal.
And unpredictable.
Even the most controversial things.
Can lead to self-discovery.
And exploration.
That's a good point.
So, with that in mind,
Yeah.
let's bring this back to our listener. As we wrap up our deep dive on the True Furqan,
Yeah.
I want to bring it back to you, the listener.
You know, this is where the real value is.
Right.
It's not about one controversial book.
It's about encouraging you
To think about your own beliefs.
Exactly.
How you interact with others.
People with different views.
Right.
So imagine you're sitting down
With someone of a different faith.
someone whose beliefs challenge yours.
Yeah. How would you approach that?
How would you even begin that conversation?
It's a tough question.
Would you look for common ground?
Shared values.
Or try to persuade them that you're right?
There's no right answer.
It's about recognizing
The sensitivity.
of these conversations.
Yeah, and being mindful of your approach.
True dialogue is about listening.
As much as speaking.
It's about learning from others
You can disagree.
without being disrespectful.
Right.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe those conversations
Even the tough ones.
can lead to a deeper understanding.
Of yourself.
Your faith.
The world.
It's in those moments.
the connection.
Even when you disagree.
That we can bridge those divides.
Well said.
So we'll leave you to ponder these questions.
Continue the conversation.
In your own way.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the True Furqan.
It's a book that really pushes us.
To think deeply about faith.
About dialogue.
And the power of religious texts.
I'm excited to share some great news with our Hindi-speaking viewers. We have created a separate channel just for you, and all the videos are in Hindi. You can find the link at youtube.com/@CleoPhiHindi, which is also mentioned in the description below. Thank you for joining us for today's podcast. I hope you've gained some valuable insights. If you're a truth seeker, yearning for divine light and ready to step out of darkness, now is your moment. The truth is that Allah is the one and only creator of the universe. He has sent over 124,000 messengers and prophets to guide humanity, starting with Adam and culminating with the final messenger, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them all. If you resonate with this message, you might be ready to embrace Islam. Simply recite the Shahada, the Islamic declaration of faith. For further support, feel free to join our WhatsApp group. You can send us a private message there. The link is in the video description. Don't wait until it's too late. We look forward to connecting with you soon.